Hare Krishna, good morning.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
How are you all doing?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, good morning.
So, Parth Prabhu, you're back from Triya Rath Yatra.
Yes, Prabhuji, yes, last night we got a bit late, but we're back.
Very nice. Okay, while others join, let's begin Mangalacharan. Om Jnana Timirandhasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupagatamaham Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamalan Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishaka Anvitamscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Vancha Kalpatarobhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Good morning and welcome to our systematic study of Vedic Scriptures. In that we are in Bhagavad Gita, where we have systematically gone through verse by verse, covering chapters, and we are now in the 16th chapter, which is entitled The Divine and Demonic Natures. In that we are in the verse 1 to 3. Let me share the screen and then let me know if you see it.
Yes, Prabhuji, we can see.
Okay. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Abhayam Sattva Samsiddhir Yoga Vyavasthitihi Danam Damascha Yagnascha Swadhyaya Tapa Arjavam Ahimsa Satyam Akrodas Tyaga Shantir Apaishunam Daya Bhuteshva Alolupam Mardhavam Hrir Achapalam Teja Kshama Dhriti Saucham अद्रोहो मानिता भवन्ति सम्पदं दैवीम् अभिजातस्य भारत. In the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, fearlessness, purification of one's existence, cultivation of spiritual knowledge, charity, self-control, performance of sacrifice, study of the Vedas, austerity, simplicity, non-violence, truthfulness, freedom from anger, renunciation, tranquility, aversion to fault finding, compassion for all living entities, freedom from covetousness, gentleness, modesty, study, determination, vigor, forgiveness, fortitude, cleanliness, and freedom from envy and from the passion for honor. These transcendental qualities, O son of Bharata, belong to godly men endowed with divine nature. In the last weeks, we have covered some of the qualities above, and today we'll be discussing about which is aversion to fault finding. Let me stop the screen. How many are interested here to understand what is fault finding? How many of us know what is fault finding? Hmm. How many of us know what is fault finding? Of course, Makarand Prabhu. Yeah. Do you want to say what is fault finding means?
Um, the making consider someone making mistakes or someone doing something, and we are um, checking, or someone is checking how it is possible, and checking all the time that it is there is something fault which get um, that work worst or maybe best, but finding the faults of the others, that most probably one of the
Mm-hmm.
habits of some people, and instead of motivating them, I feel like they demotivate by for making that work get it done in the way what they think.
Okay.
So that
Mm-hmm.
that is, I guess, so fault finding for others, mostly people do that. So
Okay. Yes. Harinam Chintamani Mataji. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Sudama Prabhu. I think that fault finding, also what Prabhuji was saying, but also another aspect to see faults in order to we feel better than them, and it's just pointing them faults or thinking about them in order not to help them.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I try not to see the faults in order to help them to overcome it, but to push myself higher,
Okay.
like to feel better.
Okay. Yep. Thank you. Others?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. In time of distress, we have a tendency to find that it's caused by someone else, not by me. That's kind of
Okay. Okay. So what you're saying is you're justifying others' fault over yours.
Yeah, like this is the tendency of
Mm-hmm.
a fallen soul. Like,
Okay. Anyone else?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
So basically, for a human being, as he grows up, when he acquires some sort of knowledge, I mean, this is a basic tendency to actually find faults because of false ego.
Mhm.
Because the tendency always creeps in that I have to correct others. So fault finding is mainly because of the false ego within us.
Okay. Yeah. So we will go into why, how, when later, but what is fault finding?
To pinpoint the mistakes or the deviations according to that individual,
Okay.
pinpointing the mistakes of others.
Okay. To pinpoint others' fault,
Yeah,
mistake.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Anyone else?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
Maybe also fault finding too, because they are not doing something, or their behavior is not according to our expectation. So you are criticizing
Criticizing
or
someone if it doesn't meet our expectation, or
yes,
Okay. Yeah.
because
Okay.
you are
Mm.
expecting them to, yeah, behave in a certain way in a relationship, for example. And if it's not going according to your way, then you
Mhm.
start thinking, okay, this is a character trait or something that I don't
Mhm.
expect to have as a person.
Okay. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. Thanks, Parminder Mataji. Anyone else? It's a very interactive session. So feel free to say what do you think, and yeah, we can cross check if that's the fact. Anyone else?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, please. Mm.
Yeah,
Tirumala Mataji.
yeah. Maybe finding faults is also necessary, Prabhuji, for getting the positive result
Okay.
sometimes.
Mhm.
Yeah, but yeah, there will be a ego. For some people, there will be ego that like they need to be appreciated all the time. If it is not fulfilled, then they start finding faults in ours to feel um, to feel them better.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
Nice. So fault finding is an act by people to feel better than the others. Yeah. Is
Yeah.
that you want to say? Mhm.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
Nice. Mm. Okay. But I think you are also mentioning very nice point, Tirumal Mataji, that finding fault is in a way good also. Yeah. Right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So, but then if you see a devotional or divine quality is apaishunam means aversion to such a finding fault. So, does it mean that if we want to become a devotee, should we give up that kind of correcting nature? Is an interesting point. Prabhupada writes in the purport, what is the meaning of apaishunam means that one should not find faults with others or correct them unnecessarily.
Yeah.
Usually that is something a very thin layer. Otherwise, we can go on for yeah debate for all the yeah as much time as we have. We can have two parts. One part is saying, yeah, in fact, it is nice to find faults. After all, that helps them to improve. Then the other person would say, no, fault finding is not a good quality that can have so many consequences. We should not. And this can go on and on unless we understand what is that we actually define as fault finding. Hmm. Fault finding, first of all, we are in the material world, which means, yeah, there are four imperfections, and committing uh, fault is one, isn't it?
Yes,
Hmm.
Prabhuji.
Yeah. So, what are the four? Hmm. Being illusioned is one, cheating propensity is another, uh, right? So, there is also that this means that because we are illusioned, because we ourselves are imperfect, there is also a chance that we may find fault with our own faults, which means the fact is rather than a fact finding, we go into fault finding mode. And because we bring our subjective opinions rather than objective facts, isn't it? And then everything messes up. And then because we are not so keen understanding what are the consequences of it, then we end up in a we end up in a problem knowingly, unknowingly, or even after we ended up, we don't know what has happened. We just continue because we didn't notice that we did make a mistake because we think that we are faultless, isn't it? Huh?
Yes, Prabhuji.
The tendency of us is usually we feel that, hey, I didn't make a mistake because I yeah, I have a better understanding than others. Um, and yeah, so anyway, so Prabhupada mentions this is very, very important that when we are finding faults in others or correcting others unnecessarily. But the question comes, is it necessary or unnecessary? We will talk about that later. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, of course, to call a thief is not fault finding, but to call an honest person a thief is very much offensive for one who is making advancement in spiritual life.
Yeah.
What do others say? Huh? The definition, yeah, even if we see from, I just picked up today the definition in the dictionaries that we have, like Colin Dictionary says, it's a constant criticism, especially about things that are not important. But we think that, oh, it is very important, and we make it so big, that we start finding fault. Oh, yeah. In the end, the point is not so important to really point out that, hey, you made a mistake. But because I know and I have an opportunity to point out you so that I can prove that I am great and prove that you are junior or subordinate. This is an opportunity. So we just start sharing our criticism. Other definition from Britannica, who is a fault finder, is a person who criticizes someone or something, often in a way that is not fair or reasonable. So in that way, yeah, and Colin Dictionary is saying continual and usually trivial criticism. So this is, I think in today's world, everything has become a controversial topic. Whatever you speak immediately, there are 10 opinions, and 10 opinions means 10 critics. They are not aligning. And then everyone has freedom of right to speak, and everyone can speak anything, whether it harms others' productivity or whether it hurts others. Yeah, people are less interested. Why? Because one is interested to make sure that his presence, his prominence is represented. Yeah, isn't it? So that's why sometimes what happens is people go out of ethics. They move away from etiquettes and then try to push themselves superior. Why? Because we are living in a world of quarrel and hypocrisy, which means, yeah, we can't avoid quarrel. We have to. Controversies means fighting. Yeah, you have an opinion, I have an opinion, all of us have different opinions, and we come together only to fight, to quarrel. And why? Because we also are hypocrites. We are not telling how bad I am only telling how great I am. That too, only my opinion. Huh? And that's where people come together and there is no common agreement because we have left all etiquettes, we have left all scriptural understanding of what is right or what is wrong, and we are just speculating. And in the world of speculation, which leads to quarrel and hypocrisy, we are fueled by this age of Kali Yuga, isn't it? Huh? Hmm. So usually we see there are some nice examples. There are some, maybe we can go from a very generic example. Yeah. So how this kind of criticism can impact people. Yeah. I think, I don't know in outside India, but in India we know something called ragging. Yeah. What is it? I don't know if it's there in other places. Uh, Bullying. Yeah. Yeah, targeting a child, or targeting a community, or targeting a person, um, and e- enjoying great happiness. Yeah. So one is not interested. What one is not interested. One second. One So one is taking up to these kind of things. Why? Because he feels that he is the center of attraction. And if he doesn't feel, then he's not happy. And the centeredness of I, me, mine. Yeah, yesterday in Bhagavatam we were seeing how does that uh, impel one to do so many things. And this fault finding nature is so deep, and it is coming from asuya, enviousness. People are very envious about others' dominance, other superior supremacy, not even dominance. If some have a great quality, I cannot accept it because then I feel that um, I have becoming subordinate. And when I become subordinate, it means I become servant. And I don't want to be servant, but after all, I wanted to be master. That's why I have been ended in this world, right? So everyone wants to show explicitly or indirectly that he is a very important person, isn't it? Huh? Everyone tries to push himself. So then what is happening is that people can justify saying that after all I'm saying the fact. Yeah, if he's a thief, I should say he's a thief. That is right. And um, but if yeah, an honest person is pointed that he is a thief, then we are manipulating here. What we are doing is we are manipulating um, the fact for a fault. Yeah? So now the fault is actually lying in us, and usually fault finding is always seen towards outside. Few really introspect. Yeah, because the eyes are outward. We can see things very clearly. I can see with my eyes everything within line of sight. I can hear. I have so many agents working for me to gather a lot of information for me, and then I am processing in my mind. My brain is processing it and concluding on something. But because the limitations of our senses, we are not able to gain perfect understanding. And but because we are not seeing, we are not reflecting, we are not introspecting, we are not trying to find fault in us, we accept that we are 100% accurate, and that's why we tend to start seeing everything faulty outside. We start finding, hey, why is this like this, why is that like that, why are you like this, why is she like that, why is he like that? So we are always thinking why. hmm? It is mainly because why, if we really approach, why am I like that? Usually we don't ask this question. Once there was a donkey, a father and a son. They were going in a village. Yeah, the father is very caring. So he asked his son to get onto the donkey, and then the donkey, son and father were going in a village, and the village people were saying, "Hey, see." This kid, see how selfish he is, how what has no etiquette, doesn't know what is he should really be more respectful to his father and make sure that he gives comfort to his father, which means the father should be riding on the donkey, isn't it? Uh, and then hearing to this wonderful advice, the son got down and he has managed to convince his father to get on because he is old, and the son should always take care of father. So all fine. They were going to the next village, and the next village again the people were having a different opinion. They were saying, "What is that? What is this? How come that the father should be loving to his child and should make sure that his child be given all kind of comfort? Uh, how can isn't it very um, yeah, what do you call, not so good. I don't know. I'm not getting the right word. So, so in that way, the villagers were saying this. Then, yeah, they were thinking, oh, it's right. So let me do the following. Huh? But the other village there that was criticized, the other village was saying, hey, this is not right. So, yeah, then this village people were saying, huh, so why, after all, the purpose is that to give all comfort to his son. So what happened now? The son as well as the father, they were on the donkey and they were going, so that both are given proper care. But then the next village was telling about, hey, how bad these people are. I don't know, maybe that village had a lot of Blue Cross people or Red Cross, I don't know. They told that, hey, yeah, see, they don't have any um, compassion to the living beings. They are treating donkeys so badly. Uh, then, yeah, hearing to them, they got down and they were now walking along with the donkey. So no one is sitting on the donkey. They were going, and the next village, the people were criticizing again, saying, "Hey, how foolish these people are! The job of donkey is to help the master, and they are the masters, so they should. They don't know how to use." So we can see that there is a lot of fault finding, or actually we may say it's criticism, or we may say, hey, does the villagers, what does it matter whether they are on the donkey or not on the donkey, or whether maybe they may even carry the donkey? Does it really matter for the villagers? What will they get? So the villagers, just out of their own curiosity, out of their own experience, out of their own knowledge, and out of what? A very important bad quality. What is it? In the nectar of instruction, we hear that is Vacho Begam, Manasakrodha Begam, Jibha Begam, Udarapastha Begam. There are so many urges. There are so many urges that we have the urge to talk. Vacho Begam, Manasakrodha Begam. So this urge of talking is quite dangerous. Why? Because yeah, a man. It is said that a man's greatness is known when he opens his mouth. Hmm. Until then, he may be a saintly person, or he may be considered a fool, or you know what. But as soon as when he starts talking, then we know whether the frogs come out or whether the flowers come out of his mouth. Frogs means always backbiting, or always, what do you call this? Gossips, rumors, and flowers means appreciation for others. So based on what is coming out of a mouth, we can say who is he. Why? Because it is uh, it is one of the very dangerous part of the body, which can mess up, which can mess up. Yeah, I think yesterday or the other day I was hearing that we know that the tongue and the teeth are together in the mouth, and the teeth is expressing gratitude, saying, "Hey, because of you, yeah, I am enjoying the taste. The teeth, yeah, is chewing, and then the food gets taste, and then the body is nourished, everything. So this tongue was saying, because of you, all the hard items are, grinded and then provided to me. I'm able to enjoy it. um, I want to do something to you. Please tell me. Yeah, I'm of course just one tongue, but I'm very eager to serve all your 32. You all 32 teeth. Please tell me. So the teeth was saying that, please, you don't do anything but except one thing, controlling your tongue. Control yourself. Otherwise, you know what? If you don't control, then people are ready to break my mouth. Break the mouth. When what will happen? All the 32 teeth will fall apart. So uh, the only thing you can do is save us from that. So the role of tongue is quite a serious business. Yeah. Fault finding, of course, it starts at the mind. Yeah. But the good thing in Kali Yuga is, if one is thinking faults about others, or fault finding spirit is there in Kali Yuga, at least one is not, yeah, going to face the consequences until he explicitly chastises or criticizes, yeah, out of his envy. So in Kali Yuga, at least that is something spared. But if it is in the mind, it can slowly come to the tongue. Yeah, there is not that much distance between here to here. Uh, so unless we have our mind in our knees, yeah, maybe it would have slipped that we are not thinking properly. But if you can see, it's quite easy, the tendency of finding fault. Oh, it's like a pressure. Oh, I have to tell this person, I have to tell him. Yeah, he is always like that. He is not improving. He is committing fault after fault. I need to change his life for all good. That is all here. And one fine day it will come here and then we speak. But it is said that the tongue is organ that when kept under control, Vega means urge, and when that is under control, one can actually become a guru. Uh, one can accept disciples all over the world. But usually we don't have that control, but we want to become gurus. Isn't it? Yeah, I mean, we come across so many people who passes critics very easily. They don't see. I think a movie. I think if a movie is released, then immediately there are so many critics, and seeing on their reviews, seeing on their ratings, one is judging the movie. One is not judging the hard work of the director. One is judging based on the, what do you call, critics. And some critics are just, yeah, one's own opinion. It's not like, hey, it's a fact. It's just one's opinion, and people tend to believe in those, and then they kind of create impressions, and then it goes on. And in that way, there are not one or two, there are so many critics. Whose critic should we listen? And after all, sometime later, if someone is asking us opinion, we'll also pass our own criticism on it. So, of course, it was about a movie, but when we talk about people's life, huh? If one, okay, movie anyway, that ruins the whole, mm, I don't know, the whole team, or yeah. Uh, but when we are talking about people who are around us, huh? Yeah, usually we may think, hey, that's okay, but I'm helping a person, and by giving my own critic, or my own critical analyzed outcome of this person. It's just like, this person has gone through my scanning machine, and after I have scanned all his qualities, now I can give a report that he is so and so, and that is the that is our nature. So as soon as we see someone, we immediately want to come up with an opinion. We want to come with a judgment saying, okay, he's of this kind. He is in the mode of passion. Come on. Hey, how can he's in the mode of ignorance? Uh, he is in the I think yeah, I have to accept that he's in the mode of goodness, but maybe only one day. Um, but mainly he is in the mode of passion. So this is how we want to immediately provide our judgment on someone. To provide judgment, we should be qualified judges. Yeah, not everyone can sit on that in a what do you call this, in a courtroom, and then can simply pass judgment. Yeah, he has to qualify himself. Come on, I am giving my own judgment. For that, I don't need to, someone need not qualify me. Uh, I don't need to prove myself. I know myself. Yeah. So in that way, usually our tendency is that we don't want to find faults in us, but we can very easily pass faults, finding comments, critics upon others. Yeah. We can see from that story that can go on and on, right? About the donkey, father and son. Yeah, they will be critics. Yeah, there will be always critics. In whichever village you go, there will be critics because they are people. When they are people, criticism is part of it. We cannot change the world around us, but we can change our world inside us. How we can do that? By first thing is controlling our tongue. When we control our tongue, uh, at least half problem is solved, because we are not committing any offenses. We are not committing any um, um, difficulties for others or difficulties to our own self. Whatever, if it is at the mind level, that is okay. But slowly, we can also change that mind, yeah, because if we just think about the consequences of fault finding, yeah, it is quite dangerous, very dangerous, because uh, why will a master accept that his servant can find fault in others? The master will just, yeah, just for example, if we are working in a company and if we are always fighting, saying, hey, uh, you know what, uh, my developer is uh, has released a software which is buggy. No? And then yeah, it's a fact, right? But if he's keep on saying, hey, he doesn't know how to code, he doesn't know that, he doesn't know this. So from a fact of what is actually a buggy code, it actually went into a next level, where we are already yeah, challenging the abilities of a person, isn't it? So from just thinking that I can just pass on my critical understanding or facts that I'm providing, we may very easily go away from the facts and actually present our own ideas or thoughts about a person. And this what is comes when our mind is faulty, then we will find fault everywhere. I think we know this story from Mahabharata where Yudhishthir was asked and yeah, Duryodhan was asked. What was Yudhishthir asked to find? To go in the village and find what? To find at least one person. Hmm? Can anyone recollect? At least find one person
Who is better? No, who
who
is
is better.
worse? Who is
No,
worse than
who is worse than him.
worse than
Hmm. And what was the task for Duryodhan?
who is better than him?
And both came with empty hands, right?
Mhm.
So now whom shall we appreciate? Uh, if we appreciate Duryodhan, yeah, I think Duryodhan had a point, right? After all, he's a king. Uh, and if he didn't find anyone better, yeah, oh, he's a great Kshatriya, he's son of Dhritarashtra, he has been great guru. That's why it's a fact. So we may again kind of support him. That means we are actually supporting that uh, our own ego. If we find what Duryodhan did right is justified, then definitely we also have that nature. So this means the nature what we have, we see things like that. Just Duryodhan couldn't see someone better than him because he was always seeing what are the disqualifications in him or others in people rather than checking himself. And Yudhishthir Maharaj, he was seeing all great qualities. Yeah, but yeah, you know what, he is, yeah, something, yeah, which I don't have. Huh? So this fault finding is a business of our own nature. Yeah. So we are seeing through our eyes the reality, and that can be faulty. But because we are not seeing as it is, so we think that that is faulty. Just like a person who is suffering from jaundice, if he is eating a sugar candy, he may not see that tastes sweet. Yeah, it is bitter. So then he's saying, hey, this candy is not real candy. No, the candy is real candy, but we are not seeing the taste because we are diseased. Our vision is diseased, our mind thoughts are diseased, our nature is diseased. We are polluted, and with polluted mind, yeah, we cannot see things as they are. Then we can also refer from Mahabharata also this Shishupal. Shishupal was finding faults. Huh? It is very interesting. Have anyone had this question? Why Shishupal's mother asked for, hey, please forgive 100, what do you call, offenses? Hmm? She could have asked, unlimited offenses. Why she asked only 100? Hmm? She was having confidence. She was thinking, hey, my son, yeah, he will not commit so many offenses. Yeah. Yeah, but if someone would have asked such a thing in Kali Yuga, we would ask, give me insurance against unlimited faults committed upon others. So Krishna, so Shishupal was finding faults in Krishna. So it's very amazing, right? So a person who is perfect, how can one find fault? It is possible because Shishupal was faulty, because his thoughts were not pure. Uh, he is bereft of all great qualities a devotee has, due to which he was feeling, oh, yeah, who was his friend? His friend was Rukmi. Yeah, and Shishpal, right from beginning, he was not um, appreciating the greatness of Krishna. And what happened when Rukmini, she wanted Krishna to come and take him away? Was there any fault in Krishna to do that? Hmm? Yeah, she is a major, he is a major. If they want to go, they can go, isn't it? In fact, the woman has complete freedom to choose her husband. But because Shishupal had interest in Rukmini, so, and when Krishna came, yeah, he challenged, what is this? Of course, he fought, and then, yeah, Krishna insulted him. Not, he didn't kill. And yeah, so all this vengeance, this fault finding can become so hot, it can burn our uh, peace of mind. And then finally, when the Rajasuya Yajna came, at that time when Shakuni and Duryodhan, they wanted that such a yajna shouldn't happen, because if this Rajasuya yajna happens successfully, then the Pandavas becomes very, very powerful. So Duryodhan and Shakuni, they wanted somehow this Rajasuya yajna can be stopped, but they cannot do it in the presence of Bhishma Dev and other great gurus. I mean, Dronacharya was there. So, and Krishna was there. So, they have provoked Shishupal. And what happened? Shishupal obviously was thinking, hey, yeah, what is that? Have you gone mad or what? Huh? You are giving the best honor to Krishna, and Krishna, he is a thief. And then where he was further, um, yeah, committing offenses one by one, he was just doing, and Krishna was waiting. Yeah, of course, who can touch or impact any purity? Purity is always pure. Yeah, we cannot contaminate fire. Fire is always pure. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is perfect, yeah. See, he tolerated 100th, and afterwards he has chopped the head, and that means there will be. We should understand we cannot continue with this fault finding because we think that there is no consequences. No, there is a deadly consequence. The Lord will not tolerate. The Lord will not tolerate, especially if we are finding faults in devotees. Yeah, there are also examples of Jagadananda Pandit, when he invited Ramachandra Puri, Ishwar Puri, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for a feast. And after organizing all this feast, I think he was telling, Ramachandra Puri was telling to Jagadananda Pandit, he is saying, hey, how come that sannyasis are eating so much? Sannyasis should. So he he intentionally, actually, there is a whole pastime about it. I'm just bringing this point of fault finding, that Ramchandra Puri explicitly tried to find faults in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Actually, he even found a fault in his own guru, Madhavendra Puri. Madhavendra Puri, when he was on the deathbed and he was feeling out of separation, hey, Lord of Mathura, please show your mercy. I am so fallen. Please come and take me. So in that prayers, Madhavendra Puri was thinking, hey, this person, he was thinking about his own guru in a faulty mood. He was thinking, how can my guru think like that? He said, oh Guru, don't worry, I am going to tell you all the knowledge about the Brahman so that you will not suffer. And then Madhavendra Puri simply said, "Go away from here. You don't understand what is that, and you want to me to uh, learn about the knowledge of Brahman, which is inferior to the supreme knowledge, which is absolute truth, Krishna." So after he left, then he started developing more and more knowledge about dry philosophy, and then he became expert in that. And because he has become expert in that knowledge, then he started seeing everything faulty in devotional service. And then he said, "How can a sannyas eat so much? Overeating, I mean, yeah, Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, and so people can simply also bring so many quotations from Shastras, and they can simply say, hey, this is what. Yeah, one is committing fault. Uh, so in that way, Ramachandra Puri was finding fault in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and of course there was a consequence of it, and how he got rectified. That's its story in completeness. Maybe some other day we can. But here the point is, finding faults is quite dangerous. Uh, we may think that I'm not finding faults, I'm just correcting. It is if we see in Bhagavad Gita, um, in the second chapter, in the second chapter, I'm just referring to those verses. Yeah, the first verses are actually what the Lord is chastising, right? Uh, Arjuna was, wait, yeah. One second. So yeah. Um, yeah, so the Lord is asking, he's chastising, Kutastva Kashmalam idam Vishame Samupastitam Anaryadustam Asvargam Akirtikaram Arjuna. So he's saying, he's first of all, he's already saying, how have these impurities come upon you? They are not at all befitting a man who knows the value of life. Is this not finding faults in Arjuna? Hmm? This is finding faults in Arjuna, right? So then when the Lord is doing, can't we also do? Klaibyamma asma gamah partha naitam tvai upapadyate kshudra hridaya dorbalyam chiptotishta parantapa. He's saying, do not yield to this degradation, degrading impotence. It does not become you. Give up such pity, weakness of heart, and arise, O chastiser of enemy. So here he is saying, hey, you are a chastiser of enemy, parantapa. Hmm. So he is also in this way. Here we can already see the Lord is chastise, seeing Arjuna as chastiser of enemies, and Krishna is chastising him. When you are a chastiser of enemies, and if you are not committing to this war, it is not right. I think in the purport Prabhupada mentions Arjuna was the most intimate friend of Krishna, and Krishna was directly guiding him on the chariot. But in spite of all these credits, if Arjuna abandoned the battle, he would be committing an infamous act. Therefore, Krishna said that such an attitude in Arjuna did not fit his personality. And therefore, um, yeah. Arjuna was, because of his magnanimous quality, out of compassion, he's saying no war. But it is said such false magnanimity was not approved by any authority. So in this way, again, what did Krishna do? He was chastising. And again, then Arjuna is saying, hey, you can say like that. Katam Bhishma Aham Sankhye Dronam Cha Madhusudana Ishubhi Patiyo Sami Pujarha Arisudana. Hey, you are asking me to fight against you, Bhishma. Bhishma is all respectful. Drona, how can I attack? How can I counterattack with arrows in battle? Men like Bhishma and Drona, who are worth of my worship. So in that way he goes, and then finally he understands. Yeah, I think I'm talking something wrong here. Yeah, in fact, I should admit I am a fool. And then Arjuna is saying that Karpanya dosha pahatsva baba. I have become miserly uh, because of miserly weakness. Uh, Karpanya dosha, weakness. Uh, Swabhava, Prachami Dharma Sammuda Cheta. I'm not understanding what is right. Dharma Sammuda Cheta. So I am doubtful what is right, what is wrong. Yesterday, Ram Nishchitam Bruhitan Me Shishyaste Ham Shadimam Tvam Prapannam. So Arjuna quickly understood that Krishna, who is the I think the purport it says one has to approach a bona fide spiritual master who can give one proper guidance for executing the purpose of life. So, and this is what we see that, yeah, if there is no such chastisement or if there is no such fault finding, if there is no such correction, then how can things be improved? But we have to understand our own position. Who is qualified? Vacho Begam, Manasa Krodha Begam, Jihva Begam, Udarupastha Begam. So when one can control all these urges, yeah, then he can correct. Who a guru can do. A king. In Srimad Bhagavatam, we can see a king who is the well-wisher of his citizens. When he has to chastise, he has to chastise. Not everyone, not anyone, not everyone. One cannot simply, because I have access to the guns, so I can just use those weapons and take law and order into my hands. No, one has to go meet the authorities, discuss with him, and then if we want to really genuinely help a person, has to do. Or if one wants to save life, who is suffering from a disease, one has to not become a doctor. Now I take everything in my hands. Let me take the knife. Let me take the things in my control. No, we will just kill the person immediately. So we should understand our position. The important first quality is to first control. Before we act, we should double check our understanding, and then exercise what we want. And then how do we overcome this fault finding? I mean, we have few minutes. So far, any questions or any thoughts? I'm just going with some flow, but any questions or thoughts? Hmm? Any corrections?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
So, Prabhuji, when you find like this correctness or chastisement, I mean, even if you have the authority like a husband or a wife, maybe if we chastise the wife or children, and if they don't like our chastisement or correctness, so should we stop? Should
Okay,
we
good
leave them
question.
on their own?
Good question. Yeah, so from the scriptures we can see a guru and a husband and a king. Yeah, they can chastise. Yeah, but the intention is for what? For good. Yeah, and of course, yeah, husband will think that, hey, out of good intentions I am chastising. Uh, but we have to understand to what level a person is able to accept it. The purpose of chastising is to help, right? If it doesn't help, what can we do? Such chastisement is not helping. And we can see why that such a chastisement is not helping is because I'm not qualified. As a role, I might be a husband, but if I'm not living to that standards, we cannot demand respect. We can only command respect. Hmm? And if the other person is not able to appreciate our genuine greatness, what can we do? We just have to continue. We understand, oh, yeah, there might be a good reason why I am not so, maybe I'm giving extra marks to my greatness. Maybe other person might be right, so let me not. And then the question will come, okay, but if I leave it like that, things will fall, right? Yeah, let it fall. Maybe from that fall, one can wake up. And if one doesn't wake up, yeah, then what to do? Yeah, we at least genuinely tried. Yeah, we can change our own situation. Yeah, we cannot change everything. So everything is still in the control of the Lord. So we pray to the Lord, may Lord please help here. Maybe I understand. Maybe I'm not understanding things properly. Maybe the other person is not understanding things properly. So please help. And then you can also approach Sadhu, Shastra, and Guru. So these are um, some of the ways, some that maybe we can look into.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, but on the other side, yeah, one should also understand, yeah, okay, one is not just, it is not just one is getting married because one wants to enjoy life. One is, yeah, it is said that in scriptures that wife and husband should be having a friendly relationship. It doesn't mean that, okay, wife can transgress her position, or the husband can transgress his position, because hey, after all, we are friends. But there is still aspect of respect and love and care. So when a wife is saying we have to just think, and when husband is saying we have to think in that way, we have to see what is that in the center is, yeah, with loving relationship, yeah, we help each other. Yeah, when other person cannot accept it, yeah, we give time. Simple, right? Maybe you have come to that high level, maybe the other person has not come to that level, or the vice versa, or any case, what can we do? Yeah, we can only still lovingly and friendly. And again, there is, I mean, I was about to come to that practical way how to help ourselves not to find faults. Yeah. But I don't know if this gives some things that we could improve. No? Others, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Understood, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Others?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Mm-hmm. Hare Krishna.
One question, Prabhuji. Sometimes, yeah, generally we ourselves are faulty, but sometimes when we hear faults of a second person from a third person, so how do we have to behave in such situations?
Okay.
Prabhuji?
Yeah. How aspect, yeah, I think we will go into that next. Yeah. So
Okay.
I'll definitely touch about it.
Okay.
Is the science of fault finding, is that clear?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, I mean both SIGNS, and I also mean SCINC, both. Yeah, for everyone. Yeah, of course, it's not rocket science, right? So it doesn't need introduction. Fault finding, we see at least when we don't, at least when we think that we don't do it, but at least we can see others are doing upon us. So fault finding, we know what it is. Yeah. Yes, Mataji, you want to say?
Hare Krishna, Salama Prabhu. I have a question.
Mhm.
This is something what I'm also experiencing lately. I don't know how to act if somebody is, like according to my view, making like a big mistake.
Mhm.
Yeah. But not asking how to act,
Mhm.
like not asking me for advice.
Mhm.
And so shall I say, because I can see it's quite dangerous for the person. But so is it my responsibility to say something? It's a friend, or is it my, or shall I just tolerate it?
Mhm. I don't know the specifics of the yeah, the circumstances, but I can say generically is, first we have to understand what is the value of my speaking. Yeah. If I'm going to speak, if other person can accept it, then it has the potency to, yeah, do something. Of course, if we very well know that won't happen, then do we think that it's worth to speak? No, it only creates more problem. But if we have a doubt, benefit of doubt, no, 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 because this is very important. I have a lot of compassion for this person. I know this person is really making a blunder in his life. Let me change it. Yeah, you can try to, yeah, give some references, and if the person can hear, you go ahead. We can see in the case of Vidur in Mahabharat, he was advising his brother, his own brother, right? He was telling to Dhritarashtra, hey, what you're doing is wrong. Uh, yeah, the right highest of this throne is Pandavas, yeah, because Pandu was the king. You only got interim because of situation. Now we have, no, Dhritarashtra was not hearing. Vidur was, yeah, very expertly, he was referring from Shastras and he was telling from Shastras, but the other person, was he in a position to understand or accept it? Hmm?
Yeah, thank you very much. It's just regarding this, because I think this, if the person doesn't, I don't think it's, I can speak because it's now, the person
Yeah.
is taking different decision, but how can we act? Because if then I feel like, how to say, because if I'm a close friend, so I hear the whole story and then I am falsely like, I don't know how to, how to act.
Mhm. Sometimes people, it's not that people don't know the answers. Hmm? It is not that they don't know the answer, but they don't want to accept the answer. So in that case, there is a one way of handling. Or if the person genuinely doesn't know, if he's really explicitly asking, hey, I'm really struggling, can you really tell me why, what, how I should do? Then you can give some proper constructive references and provide, okay, this is what I think I would do in this case, because by this A, B, C, D, all the things, yeah, can open your doors for all goodness. Um, and if not, then these X, Y, Z will happen, I think, which I have seen in some ABC examples or the Shastras or references through which we can, the more we provide the background, yeah, the less it sounds that I am giving my own opinion. Yeah, because we don't know how much a person is accepting our opinion. People are not interested. There are so many people who are outside in the world who can give any number of opinions. You just open the Google, you will see so many opinions. You don't even have to come to a person, right?
But
Yeah,
if the
people,
person,
but
sorry.
usually it is our urge. We think that, hey, if this guy is going to do that, come on, he's my close friend, and I cannot allow my friend to, yeah, to be a failure, huh? That he fails. No, I don't. I want to save him. Yeah, genuinely. Yeah, there again, we have to check what is the acceptance level of the person. You are thinking him as your very close friend. Hmm? That is all right. Yeah, the other person also should think the same, right? And if the other person thinks you as a very close friend, he at least will hear to you. And if he thinks even if he thinks you are above his friend, like okay, not only just a friend for casual conversation, but he thinks, yeah, you are also knowledgeable, you're also experienced, you also can really help me out. Then if he genuinely asks, you can tell that is the right time to really um, sow the right seed. Just like we don't want to what do you call do agriculture in Germany, for example, in winter, right? Yeah, we know that that's not a favorable time. For everything, there is a favorable time. So we have to patiently be waiting when that favorable time might come. Maybe he might have already learned few lessons, and by that time, so whatever you might say also will be better understood. Rather, if you already tell, the person will think, hey, you are very pessimistic. Yeah, I think you don't know. Hey, he may also misunderstand you. I'm just telling you means not you, but a person who wants to give a good advice.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. But again, this question itself is very nice, where we can even go more deeper, and it will take a session on its own. Maybe we'll talk some other time. Hmm? But I don't know
Thank
if
you.
it gave you some, yeah.
Thank you so much. I understood something. I'm just, what I'm struggling with, that I feel like, like being then trying to be as a friend, and so because I understand my, the decision is, I will
Yeah.
not be hurt really.
Yeah, then when
But
you know this, you see if you're really a good friend, you'll see to whom that person will hear. Yeah, and maybe you can help through that direction. Yeah, so there are ways how we can still get our work done. Yeah, just like if I know that there is a thief, instead of I go and attack or chastise the thief, yeah, if I go to the authorities like the police officer, and the police officer knows what is the best way to help the thief, right? Huh?
mhm.
So that's how we can confidentially talk to the person if he is in a mood. But again, we have to be very careful. Somehow, am I bringing my own opinion? That is first check we have to do. Because Harinam Chintamani Mataji has only a limited understanding, limited experience compared to Krishna, right? Yeah? Or compared to a guru, or compared to senior people around. So what you might be thinking may happen, but is not 100% sure it will happen. We see so many things happen, right? Unless the process that he's taking up is already very yeah, every step is already indicating that he will fail. Yeah, then we see how we can help him out. That's why Prabhupada is translating that unnecessary fault finding. Unnecessary advice is fault finding. If there is a necessity, if there is a necessity, yeah, we find ways of how to engage ourselves so that we can, yeah, or we have a compassion for a person, then that itself is not enough. We should also have laukyam. We should also understand how what I will tell can really help him. That comes with some experience. The that comes with some, yeah, the more we go deeper, the more we clear our own anarthas, the more pure we become. That potency will be what will attract people. They will come, and then when we tell, they take it and go. So there is some work that we can do ourselves, so we improve. Yeah, when we are doing our devotional life, leading a devotional life with full happiness, the people will say, hey, I have a question. I mean, I come across people who come and ask me questions. Yeah, they wait and ask questions, and after hearing and all these things, they may have few more questions, but at least those questions are answered, and they see, okay, it's working, and they may come again. Or if I'm telling something that doesn't make sense, I think maybe there are people who wouldn't have come again. I don't know. So there is also something that I have to work on. Or maybe I messed up.
Yeah, thank you. Very much.
Yes, Tirmal Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yeah, how to stop thinking that everything is my fault?
How to stop everything is my fault. Yeah, first of all, in corporate world, we are taught that we should accept responsibility for everything.
Yeah.
And you are asking how to feel that, hey, I'm not responsible because it's not my fault. Nice, interesting, right? Yeah. So first of all, when we are checking against sadhus, shastras, and guru, first of all, we should be 100% sure that there is no fault. There is no fault from my end. That is first thing we should do. Then we will know, okay, yeah, there is no fault in me. I am not doing something mistake. If we do it ourselves, we will always give extra marks, saying, yeah, but because no, I did this. We always justify. Even if there is some room that we can improve, we justify saying that no, it's not my fault. It is, yeah, after all, mm, the my fate, or the other person. We see so many, or God, so many things. Because of that, I am doing. Otherwise, there is no fault in me. Yeah. So first thing is, first we should check ourselves. Am I doing it right or not? Am I faulty or not in a situation?
Okay.
Yeah. And after that, yeah, once we get a confirmation, hey, no, Tirmal Mataji, what you're doing is very correct. You should do like that. You should continue. Yeah. Then you just continue.
Okay. Yes, Prabhuji.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Thank you. Other questions? Yeah. So how do we want to overcome this? How is a very important aspect, because we know that we are all suffering quite often because of this fault finding nature. And if at all we want to engage in devotional service, we need this divine quality, and how to get it is just by doing the opposite. Fault finding means what? We are finding fault in others. But what we should do is we should appreciate others. Of course, we should not appreciate if they are making mistake. It's not that, oh no, opposite means whenever they are doing mistake, let me promote it. No, if we are doing that, what will happen is that they become more inspired and they will create more disturbance, isn't it? When there are people who are committing mistakes, committing faults. So a person who is not correcting them, rather if he is just supporting them, he becomes part of the problem, isn't it? Now the question is how we want to avoid that. How can we avoid that we don't be part of the problem but somehow become a solution? The trick is that uh, first we need to establish good friendly relationship, trust relationship. The relation should be based on trust that if I am going to speak, hmm, the person understands or at least, yeah, he's open-minded. He can accept that, hey, there is no duplicity in my advice. Isn't it? I don't know who was asking. Adirasa Prabhu or some. Yeah, general, right? If I am speaking, the people will accept if they think that I am genuine, right? If I myself am not so genuine, people will just say, hey, whatever, even if I would have spoken from Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam, even if I quote it, people don't have trust in me. People will just say, hey, you guys, you have whatever you are telling, but still, the potency of what advice I'm giving will not be there. It is just like, what do we call that? A bottle of honey. Yeah, you're licking the bottle of honey from outside. Yeah, there is no taste. Or just imagine, yeah, you're given a mango, but that mango doesn't have sweetness. Amazing, right? Yesterday, somehow, yeah, um, there was no sweetness in the mango juice we drank, right? Amazing, right? But mango means amrit, sweet. So anyway, I don't know what is the purpose of example, but the point is that how can we build relationship? Trustful relationship is by always having a friendly relationship with a person. Yeah. So that how can we get to that level is by appreciating. When we appreciate the greatness of a person, the person starts feeling encouraged in that relationship. When the person feels encouraged in that relationship, he will also come closer. We go closer. In that way, when this closeness develops, the barriers will be less. When the barriers are less, people will trust that, oh, what he's saying is, of course, for my own benefit. He may, I am in a position to ask him if I have a problem. Then I'm going to definitely approach him. So appreciation is very, very important. Appreciating others should be very, very genuine. It doesn't mean that now appreciation is the key to avoid fault finding. Let me appreciate, but that appreciation should be very, very genuine. It can't be just superficial or cannot be artificial or cannot be based on um, mm, faking. Yeah, because I want to win the trust. I want the trust so that I can command anyone. No, it cannot be built on fake appreciation. It should be based on. So we should make deliberate effort to understand the person and his greatness. A person might not be already in Krishna consciousness, but if we see that the person is devotional, we can see, wow, such a nice quality. A person is not even devotional, but if a person is um, not discouraging others to practice bhakti, wow, see, so nice quality. So there is always a nice thing that one can appreciate. And this comes when one spends time with that person, understand what is he saying, what is he doing, what does he need, what is he giving, so many things so that we can understand him. So we deliberately have to have some efforts to understand others, look and acknowledge. We should not just immediately use our pair of glasses of our own, what do you call this? Judgmental attitude. Hey, no, he's not doing this. As per Shastras, one should do this, but he's not doing that. No, as long as when we find reasons, we can never appreciate. Hmm? We can see that immediately, if our mind is bringing all these reasons not to accept a person, it means there are so many faults in our own self. These faults, we can cover it up. We can say, no, these are not, no, Prabhu, I am really accepting that I have a lot of bad qualities, anarthas in me. When we have so many, we should be silent. This means that I am not qualified to pass on critics on others because I am on. I'm going. I cannot trust myself, right? Because I am on myself polluted with so much contamination. So how can I have a proper critic about others? So one should deliberately look into others' goodness, acknowledge them, and appreciate the qualities in devotees. Yeah. And what about non-devotees? Will come later, but this is very important. And whenever circumstances allow, one should verbally express. It's not like, hey, yeah, I've been a silent observer of you. Tirmal Mataji, every time now, whenever I see you, I'm very silently observing. You have so many great qualities. If I know and if I'm just keeping it to myself, yeah, you do not know that I'm appreciating your greatness. And when you don't know, why will you open up to me? Will you know, right? You just think, hey, okay, this Prabhu is very silent, very cold. What kind of relationship I can have with him? Will he solve my problems? I have already so many problems. I don't think he can understand me because he don't know me. Genuinely, that's what will come to your mind, right, Tirmal Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Huh? So rather when we are just having a conversation where I'm appreciating your greatness, then you see, hey, if because it's a genuine appreciation, you also will know that I'm not faking up. Yeah, it's a genuine appreciation. Yes, you also think, yeah, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and he's not. Yeah. Then when I'm chastising you, will you accept it or not?
Yes, Prabhuji. We'll accept it and yeah.
Why? Because you have trust that such a chastisement will help you, and otherwise I wouldn't chastise you, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So this appreciation expressing verbally, explicitly can break the barriers between two people or between devotees or non-devotees, anyone, right? When people appreciate, people want to be with them. And then another way of appreciation can be by taking service. I'm saying about taking service. Why? Because in that service, I'm expressing my gratitude. Thank you very much for doing this. Yeah, because you genuinely want to offer something to me, and I am okay accepting. And then this is how the relationship will will build, right? And then not only taking always, yeah, because if we keep on taking, taking, it might be like, okay, is it a selfish business? Building relationship is not selfish business, right? It is selfless business, which means we should also offer our services, which means when we take service opportunities, serve them out of gratitude is one thing, we serve them, and we also show that by giving them service, by engaging them in service, we are showing them, oh, I trust you so much that I have confidence that if I give service to you, you will very, with whole heart and care, you will do that service. So isn't it also building us the trust between two people? Dinath Prabhu, I think you were asking, right? How? Yeah, we have not yet come to that
Yes, Prabhu.
the specific question, but how we can actually make the ice break between our relation in our relationship is by this. When we appreciate genuinely, when we trust them, yeah, we give some service, and of course, yeah, failures can happen, faults may be there, yeah, but we can have, oh, but still there is something he's expert, I'm not expert in that. A person he is very expert in this service, yeah, whatever other things, yeah, that is okay, but yeah, this is something. And then when we talk about, for example, appreciating, oh no, Prabhu, I don't know, he's a devotee, I think he's non-devotee, but what should I do now when someone is not devotee? In fact, in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said, one who has unflinching devotion for personality of Godhead has all the good qualities of demigods. But one who is not a devotee of the Lord has only material qualification that are of little value. Now, does it mean that we should not be associating with what do you call non-devotees? Hmm? Because if they don't have qualities, no, yeah, we can still see that hey, there is some mundane qualities. Yeah, after all, yeah, if tomorrow he becomes a devotee, huh, what will happen? If tomorrow he becomes a devotee, in due course he will develop all good qualities. Who has seen future? I haven't seen a future of a person who is a non-devotee. There are so many non-devotees. Even me, I am a non-devotee, became a devotee, or trying to become a devotee, not yet devotee. So in that way, we can see that. Uh, so we can appreciate if some so-called for us, we may see he's a non-devotee, but yeah, in due course he can become a devotee. We can appreciate what good he's doing. He's not discouraging someone's devotion. Hmm. So in that way, we can appreciate the greatness. Yeah, in Ramayana, there is this nice story where Hanuman, yeah, when he's flying across the Lanka, across this, what is it? The ocean. Then he comes across Surasa. Yeah, there is this demon, uh, and Surasa is stopping the way, and uh, uh, Hanuman tried to tell very peacefully, "Hey, I have a big." Job or service to do. He told everything. She didn't listen. And yeah, then what Hanuman did, he just said, okay, let me big, yeah, what happened? Surasa was saying, yeah, I have the boon from Brahma that uh, whoever comes on this way has to be my prey. Yeah. And then she opened the mouth, and then Hanuman became big. Then Surasa became big. And in that way, both Hanuman, Surasa, they became bigger, bigger, bigger. And then what Hanuman did, he became very small in no time. He entered the mouth of Surasa and came out. Hmm. So we can see, yeah, what happened here. In the case of Surasa, Hanuman dealt as a devotee. It's not like, okay, if someone is becoming very egoistic, let me also show becoming more egoistic. Hanuman is not interested of showing bigness. He just wanted to win so that he can engage in service. So immediately had a plan and he did it. The more interesting is about Simhika. Simhika, when Hanuman was flying, he was very giant and he was flying, which means a devotee, when he becomes famous, yeah, the people who become more famous, they are more targeted of fault finding. People, everyone will be seeing, hey, you know what, that person has fault, this person has fault. I remember Kadamkanan Maharaj often gives this example where the life of sannyas is like walking on the high ropes. Huh? You know what? In the circus tent, there is this high rope on which there is this who are walking, yeah, which means just a small slip, they will fall flat down, right? But everyone is seeing, everyone is interested in seeing, hey, when will this person, will he really make it? When will he fall or will he fall? So everyone is interested in that rather than actually doing their own work. So a person who is becoming more famous and people, they say, oh, they're not happy because I want to become great. Huh? Out of my enviness, I will always think that I want to become great, greater than you, greater than you, greater than you, greater than anyone. So when I am in that mood, yeah, Simhika, what Simhika does is she is pulling Hanuman with great gravitational pull. She was pulling him so that she can swallow. So there are so many people around us who are also pulling us down. They want us down. Hanuman, what he did? Uh, what he did? He just used the same force. When someone is fault finding, yeah, he just didn't really care. Yeah, okay. What Hanuman did was he just entered into the mouth of Simhika. He tore her stomach, ripped apart, and came out. Hmm. So we can see that there are different ways of how we can overcome fault finding around us. Yeah, and coming to your question, maybe specifically, can you once again repeat? Your question was, Dinath Prabhu?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So, I mean, sometimes we hear faults of people, uh, I mean,
From
a third
others.
person, I mean, from others actually. So, this is also detrimental for our spiritual advancement, right, Prabhuji?
Mm-hmm.
So,
So
how
first
do
of all, how much trust you have on this person? The second person who is telling about the third person, how much trust do you have? For example, the second person is your guru. Because you have full trust,
Mhm.
you will accept it, right?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah, if it is coming from Guru. Yeah.
Yeah. So if a person is trustful, you will accept that, right? And now what should we do when you accept it? Yeah, that is next. Just by knowing a person has faults, still our position doesn't become we are great. We are also having a lot of faults. So the authenticity of someone's fault we can check by, yeah, the person from where, the source from where we are getting it. But after knowing that also, as the approach is that we cannot, because I know whole Bhagavad Gita, I know whole Bhagavatam doesn't mean that I have already understood and I'm already a Bhagavat, because I have also so many faults in me. So when I'm dealing with this person, third person, yeah, I also understand that, hey, it doesn't mean anything for me, because if a person has faults, what should I do? I also have faults. We are sailing in the same boat. We help each other. So we can just see, approach, appreciate the qualities of that person. And if that person, yeah, trusts you, and if he wants to learn how to overcome, we can give a hand. Otherwise, yeah. I mean, your question is more, should we make up our mind, right?
I think basically, I mean, it's not only in spirituality, but basically in the normal day-to-day life also. If we are hearing constant criticism from which is related to a third person from a second person who's discussing with us, so that sort of a habit is also not good for one's personality development or spiritual development.
Yeah. Fault finding will never help us, definitely. Yeah. And when uh, we are engaging in such a, yeah, because it gives us happiness, right? So sometimes, not we, but generally, some people continue as soon as there is a lunch break or a tea break, the people come together and start talking about the faults about the others, right? Huh? Because I mean, there is whole psychology. I mean, as I said, this fault finding can go for many sessions. The psychology is more about, if I pull someone down, then I can, yeah, if someone comes below me, then obviously I am the king, right? So people will value me more, respect me more, will come to me more, recognize me more, give all credits, and I become the object of benefit. Hmm? So for that matter, I'm ready. Yeah, if a second person is telling, even if I don't trust him, but if he's telling about the third person his faults, sometimes I genuinely may accept it. Yeah, because I have a mood of accepting others. Yeah, as faulty. So we should be very careful not to be in such consciously indulge in such kind of conversations. Rather, I remember how we can counteract is, yeah, it is better to be not part of the problem by either moving away from there, or if we are there, at least not speak, or if a chance was there, at least if three people are there, four people are there, and if one person raises the voice, no, 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 I think he is right. If you also genuinely feel, you can also bring some positivity, or if that there is no one to bring positivity, you can try to bring positivity and see what happens, and yeah, take steps there. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji. Uh, and also one point, Prabhuji, in general, gurus, spiritual masters also, I mean, they will never ever say directly, to a disciple or to somebody else that this is his fault, because gurus are merciful, tolerant. So
Actually, if we see gurus are merciful is correct or tolerant is correct, but they also chastise if a devotee disciple has to learn. He just says this is your fault because there is no barrier. Thus, it is not that the servant will not accept him or doubt him. When the guru finds his disciples don't doubt, then the guru will cause his mercy 100% by actually showing, hey, this is your fault and this is how you can overcome.
yes, Prabhuji, but
And
that
that
will
is the
be
business.
one to one. That will be one on one, right, Prabhuji? Because I
I can
think.
see we can see from Prabhupada there are instances where he did one-to-one very more
Hmm.
often and also in public. For example, when there was this a disciple who was telling that uh, hey we landed, TV was showing that we landed on moon, right? At that time it was not personal. There were also others, and the disciple was not in a position to accept it, and then he left the movement. But Prabhupada, yeah, so it depends, yeah, so case to case. But at a peer level, we should see that when we are improving someone, we should do it in person. Appreciation in public, and yeah, not fault finding, but actually checking, yeah, whether what I understood is right or not in private. Uh,
Yes,
but
Prabhuji.
yeah, chastisement is very has its own important role. As the king chastises the miscreants, as the husband chastises the wife, and the guru chastises disciples, is very important for the betterment of the person. But the better, yeah, and then how strong or how soft it depends on the other person. Yeah,
Yes, Prabhuji.
I don't know. Sorry if I didn't. Yeah, answer your question.
It answered my question, Prabhuji. But I think sometimes chastisement and criticism, there is a very thin line, right, Prabhuji? Because Guru has very good intentions to improve the disciple. Like, for example.
Chastisement is an action of criticism. So criticism is what is passing critics, being critical of one's action. Chastisement is action through which one is yeah, showing it. Yeah, okay. Criticism is only a verbal. Chastisement is more, yeah, though it is verbal, it gets more into getting the thing into the head of the person. Yeah.
But I think in criticism also there will be constructive and destructive
Correct.
criticism.
Correct. Criticism, yeah, as I said, if it is a fault finding, it is negative criticism, it is fact finding, yeah, it is more constructive. But again, how we decide something is positive or not, it depends on the impact afterwards, after we do it. Yeah. So whether the person is it improving him, then it is constructive. Otherwise,
Yes.
it's destructive. So
Yes.
that's why it is said that not everyone, I mean, unlike, we tend to give a lot of, what do you call, advices to people. Rather, we should understand, yeah, at least one of the principles that I like and I try to maintain is mainly that unless someone asks, better don't open the mouth. Hmm. When someone asks, then bring Shastric. It's not that as soon as someone is asking, hey, I have become a great person, then bring Shastric references. And not only just Shastras, we should also know that assimilating them for the right time, right purpose. We can use the same Shastras and tell someone not to serve, and which is not good for the person. So we have to understand that how does it bring betterment for the person, even if we are bringing Shastras. Because now when we know knowledge, we should not play with the knowledge.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Mhm. Yeah,
Thank you.
nice point. Yeah, thank you. Okay, any last question or couple of questions before we close the call? I don't know, in case we want one more session on this own topic, we can go on. Otherwise, next topic is also waiting for us. Any last thoughts, anyone?
Prabhuji, maybe it just occurred to my mind that I think last time in Vrindavan also, I think Jayadvaita Swami Maharaj was also telling in one of his lectures that I mean, as devotees in Krishna consciousness, we need to be very careful not to correct people who are very new to the movement, because this can actually scare the new people coming into the movement if we keep fault finding. Like for example,
So that's why we usually, I think this is what happens, right? If someone is coming into Krishna consciousness, he's coming because someone is appreciating them. If someone doesn't appreciate them, they would just say, hey, there is no difference between the outer world and ISKCON world, so why should I come? So no, and a person who comes, he is seeing all goodness and then he is coming. But if the dealings of the devotees are not favorable, then he may leave, and that is because of the dealings. It's not because of the deity worship. It is not because of Bhagavatam. If a person is leaving, it is so nice. A person can stay in Krishna consciousness if he is in the right association, and a person can leave from Krishna consciousness if he is in the bad association. So the association of devotees should always be very, very warm, welcoming, and appreciative, which means there is a very big responsibility for us that when we welcome, we are representing the movement, we are representing Krishna in the form of devotees. So we should be very, very careful with that responsibility of dealing properly with the devotees or even newcomers.
Yeah, thank you very much, Prabhu.
Yeah, thank you. That's very nice. Yeah, when such references from gurus are brought, it also helps us to become more serious and more convinced. Thank you, Dinath Prabhu. Okay, then thank you so much, and see us next Sunday. Vanchakalpatarabhyascha kripa sindhubhyo cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you, Prabhuji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare